What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and we are proudly sponsored by Action Coach Sheffield and also Triple Point Brewery. So thank you to both of those for supporting our channel. And obviously, Triple Point is part of this sponsorship because we are doing the warm-up. We're looking forward to hopefully bringing down the Forest. And I'd also like to extend a special thank you to our main channel sponsor, Action Coach Sheffield, who I'm delighted to say we have extended our partnership into next season. So thank you to John and the team and everybody involved for your support and guidance as well through this process. And as you can probably see there, we have a significant update, and it won't be very long, hopefully. So, yeah, exciting things happening for the channel. Absolutely over the moon with that. Trying my best to have a positive spin on... There's only 3 left, isn't there? I think it's 3. I hope it's 3. 3 left. And then we're done. We're out of this league. We're back in the Championship, which is obviously financial ruin for some clubs, but also the league itself is just brilliant. Yeah, so we've had our best times in that league, in my opinion, obviously with the exception of the odd 9th place finish. So how are we all? Are we all okay? Have we got our heads round where the club is, what is happening currently? It's a busy night for the Ramble tonight. I'm on. We're only doing half an hour tonight, as we always do for the warm-up, or I'm going to certainly try and keep it that way. So 8 while half 8, you're here. Then if you jump over to our second channel, Jimmy Ramble, I'll be on doing a dual stream at 8:45 tonight with FFP TV. So they've set up that stream, but we're streaming it through our platform as well on Jimmy Ramble. So we'll have a bit of a preview with me going back and forth with them. And then we've got a Pleasant Forest fan that, you know, is respectful and, you know, Mr. Door on Tour. I'm going on his channel tonight at 10 o'clock. So absolutely manic. But we love it, don't we? Because we're talking about United. So I've got people trying to sneak into the background of my shot who should be in bed. Upstairs, please. Thank you very much. This won't be happening in studio, will it? So I'm going to jump straight into your comments and get ready for the game at the weekend. Evening, Jimmy says. Bryce starts us off. Good evening, pal. Hope you're well. One of our Platinum Ramblers' question is, do we want help? Do we want to help send them down with us, or do we prefer Luton and Burnley with us? The other thing is, do we want to win to keep the fans happy? We do need a win, though. Good questions. Obviously, we always want to win, no matter what the circumstances. In my opinion, that's how we are. We cheer our team on to do the best that they can do. I know what you're saying, though. Do we want Forest to come down with us, really? Well, there's 2 strands to it for me, because my head says, no, I want Luton and Burnley to come down with us, because I think we have a much better chance in a league with Luton and Burnley in it than we have with Forest and Burnley in it, or Forest and Luton in it, depending on how Burnley get on. But there's also, what happens to Forest if they get relegated? They've broken PSR rules, which I admittedly don't know enough about the finer details to say whether that would, you know, ruin them. Or in the Premier League, obviously they've had points deductions in the Prem. How does that affect them if they go down a league? If they're in debt and they've overspent in the Prem, how much of an overspend is that counted as in the Championship? Because we all know the quotas of what you can spend in the Championship are significantly less than in the Prem. I've gone all around houses there to get to the original point of, does it put them in financial ruin? Would be something I'd be very interested in knowing about. So if that's the case, it might change my opinion. I'm going to stick with my original, though. If I'm honest with myself, as much as I hate them, it's a little bit like I want Leeds to go up, even though I can't stand Leeds. I want us to be in the strongest possible position to come back as a club. And Forest have got players that I like. Lewis O'Brien being a key player that we've talked about a lot. Joe Worrell, it's a little bit murky on that situation, whether he's going to leave permanently on a deal that's already agreed, or there's other things going on in the background. I would like him at our club if we can. If they come down with us, they're much less likely to sell those sort of players. They'll probably be including those sort of players. So, yeah, I think looking at the bigger picture, I'm not keen on them coming down with us. However, if they do, I'll still laugh all day long because it's great, isn't it? And I won't be saying that on the other channels tonight. I'll be particularly on FFP TV. The pressure's all on Forest. They have to win. Absolutely they do. So it could be quite an open game, especially in the second half, providing we don't implode again. All the blades up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Top man, Bri. Thank you, pal. Appreciate that. Mr. V, good evening, mate. Hope you're well. As long as we don't lose to these clowns, I'll have a smile on my face come Saturday night. I really hate Forest and everything they stand for, and dragging them down to the Championship suits me fine. There you go. I think there'll be a few in that sort of stance with you, Mr. V. I quite fancy us this weekend, you know. Pressure's off. Jackie Long-Throw back in the team, no doubt. Probably wearing the armband. What do you think? Do you give it back to Robbo? Do you keep it on our blaster? I think it probably moves back to Robbo personally, but we'll see. Little Chef says, to be honest, the only team I'd love to see go down with us are Burnley. Not sure if the burger thing or the fact that we've got our bottoms spanked. I think Luton have put up a decent fight considering. I tend to disagree slightly. I think Luton have been the best of a very bad bunch. And that, I mean that as the bottom three. If Forest and Everton don't get deducted points, we're nowhere near them. None of the three of us are anywhere near them. Luton in any other season are bottom of this league. It's just because we've been so bad and Burnley have been so bad. So they put up a decent fight compared to us. So I don't mean to slate Luton by saying that, but I also don't buy into the rhetoric that haven't Luton been so good. Because I don't think they have. You just know Gibbs White is going to bang a 40-yard worldie in front of the cop and give it the big one in front of us all. I don't think he'll give it big one unless we're giving him stick. We've got the McAtee song, obviously. Does he sort of find a bit of a niggle with that? He was very good for us, and I enjoyed him playing. Obviously, we all enjoyed him playing for us. It's awful to see him playing for them, but I don't know. I'll be interested to see what reaction he gets, really. Thomas Leaks, good evening, pal. Would prefer Luton and Burnley. The one thing for me is beating 17 points. That's how many points Villa went down with. The stick Agbonlahor has given us, he'll get it from me up the Ramble. Agbonlahor does not know what he's on about. Gabby Agbonlahor, load of rubbish. One of the worst pundits out there. Useless. Evening, Rich. Evening, Peter. Prince Abdullah. This is a must-win for us, given the momentum. Gives us momentum for the end of the season into the summer. The atmosphere is going to be electric. All the blades of the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Rich. Very much appreciated. Another one of our platinum Ramblers. Lefty from the Forest crew. Say what you want. Forest will win Saturday. They have quality over yous. As much as you fans would like a win, it ain't going to happen. Well, thing is, Lefty. If we lose, it means nothing to us. We don't want to lose. We never like losing. But it no longer defines our season. You can't send us down. We're already down. We're quite openly saying we've been rubbish this season. And next year is a chance of us clearing the decks, starting again, fresh coat of paint. You boys, having cheated and been punished for cheating and squirming your way back. Please can we have our points back? Please can we have our points? No. And they're corrupt. They're corrupt. We're the biggest team in the land, but they all back the big boys. I don't really know how that works. I don't know how that works out. I'm just getting warmed up for my appearance later on tonight. Absolutely ludicrous. You're the worst run club in the league. And I cannot wait for you to all be nervous, super quiet as mice over in the away end there. We'll all be, you'll hear us, you'll hear the Chip Butty song. I don't think we'll be hearing much from you, particularly if you don't get off to a good start. A very nervous afternoon for you Notts Forest fans. We're winning 5-0. Trust me, lads, says Josh, up the blades, up the Ramble. Good morning, Stephen. How are you, my friend? Dino, couldn't care less about Forest. I'd like to win as I always want Blades to win, but let's get to the end of the season and then sort this mess out and go again. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Well said, Dino. Thank you, pal. Hope you're well, mate. Joey Builder, why were people slagging Wes off? I've been to every game and can only recall one mistake against Bournemouth. You all look stupid now. You've seen the alternative. If Joey Builder, and you're entitled to your opinion, mate, but nobody's stupid for having an opinion. I still don't think Wes is good enough. We all knew Wes had this in his locker because we've seen it a couple of times. And despite how good you think he is, you seem to think he is. He's still letting 9 in 2 games. So whatever he's doing, it's not stopping the rot, is it? He is not a Premier League goalkeeper. He's better than Gerbic. Whoop-de-doo. Absolutely. Congratulations. I'm better than Gerbic. I'm not. That's a ridiculous statement, but just because you bring a poorer goalkeeper in as a replacement doesn't make the original goalkeeper quality. It's been a necessary change that we made that hasn't worked. I'm assuming you would give Wes a contract over buying someone like Victor Johansson. I'll let other people speculate as to whether they agree with you or not, but I don't think anybody looks stupid for wanting Wes out of the team. He's the most motivated player on the pitch to prove a point. So who's stupid? Is Wilder stupid for bringing him back in when he's clearly got a point to prove? You know, who's winning there? If he gets a worldy performance out of his goalkeeper, is Wilder upset? I don't think so, personally. That's just my view. Not a stupid view. An entitled view like everybody else is entitled to theirs. Good evening, Jimmy. Good evening, Ben, my friend. Hope you're well. I am, mate. I will be at the game on Saturday and hope to meet you. Yes, we will be, as always, in Triple Point before the game. So if anyone wants to join us for a pre-match drink, you're more than welcome. I know a few of our Ramblers who are now regulars at Triple Point who were there before me and there when I leave because they've bought into the old Golden Cop lager that they sell there. So I fancy us to beat the Scabs, says Rob. But I prefer Luton and definitely Burnley to come down with us. Yeah, me too. Me too. If there's one game we all want to win, it's this one. We said that about Burnley, I think, Ray, to be honest. But you're right. We do want this to win this one. Come on, Blades. We need to win, Forest. We owe them one. Up the Blades. Up the Ramble. Wonder if any of their supporters are going to run on and attack our players this time. We'll see. Classy bunch. Has nobody noticed the downturn in the great young prospect Macca's form coincided with our own young star in the making, taking all his limelight? Macca has not. He's faded a little bit, unfortunately. This team is not set up for James McAtee. And I've said this before, so I don't want it to get misconstrued. I will repeat myself, but that's only because I don't want to be taken out of context. He's a very talented player, very talented, and he'll go on to have a good career in the Premier League, I believe. But he's much better in a possession-based team. Pull the curtain back a little bit. I hope you don't mind me saying this. I went to the Sheffield Star Awards. I was very fortunate. Andy the Blade sorted me a ticket out. It was nothing to do with the Ramble, really. So thank you to my dad for sorting the ticket out for my birthday. Brilliant night. We'd been the year before, and this year, Jack Robinson and James McAtee were there. And we ended up, just by chance, having a long chat with James McAtee. And we were laughing because we were sort of saying, are you coming back next year? Are you going, we're going to, any chance of a third time, knowing full well that we're not going to see him in Championship again? He's saying, well, we'll see. I says, mate, let's be right. You need a team, possession-based team, don't you, that's going to give you the ball that you can enjoy. He said, mate, I don't swear on these streams, but he said, I'm S-word without the ball. He said, I need the ball. I'm S without it. And I thought, that's come from the man himself. I said, you're not S, but you are stronger with the ball at your feet than without it. I'll give you that. So, fair play. He was a really nice lad, to be fair. And as I say, we ended up chatting to him for ages. Lots to talk about Blaster getting sold. How much do you think it would take to tempt the board into selling? And how much would you sell for? I think he is the crown jewel of our rebuild for me. I think everything could be focused around him. I put Hamer in a very close second to that because I think Hamer will be an absolute beast in the Championship. But in terms of building value, Arblaster is the one to protect. Having said that, everybody has got a price. The old WWF fans out there with the $1 million man, everybody's got a price. And I think if we're offered anything upwards of 25 for Ollie, I think he goes. But we've had this chat in our Ramblers group. That's probably sensible, isn't it? It's a shame. Don't get me wrong. It's a huge shame to even contemplate. but he's played less than 10 games in Premier League for us. I just think we get a £25 million fee and a huge sell-on. And I'm not saying he's going, but we've all seen now, and I sort of touched on it earlier, and Man Mountain had a pop at me for, don't you dare mention selling Arblaster. It's a topic that we're going to have to come across. I genuinely, and people have said, well, he can go, but we want him back on loan for the season. That works. But obviously, we don't want him to go, really. He's just signed a new deal. Build the team around him for me. If he gets us promoted and grabs us by the scruff at neck and is a real integral cog in getting us promoted, he's still only going to be 21 if we get back to Premier League. And he's been central to that. So you've got to be talking 40 million quid then, surely. So I think there's method to keeping him and a longer term gain. So I don't know. I don't like to think about it, Josh, to be honest, mate. 4-0 Blades, and then I wake up from my dream. Nice, Gabe. One of our elite ramblers. Thank you, pal. Evening, Jimmy. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Top man. Thank you, Wayne. Hope you're well, mate. Ray, still think Luton and Burnley join us in the champ, but would be delighted if Forest do it. So up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. Thank you. Would be great if Forest went down and down again. They're financially ruined for cheating. Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine? We won't laugh, would we? We win the last 3. Not bothered who comes down with us. We win the last 3. We got Tottenham on last day. Evening, Drew. Evening, Andrew. Excuse me. I want to see Burnley down and Forest. I think Luton have earned it. We can just play a relaxed game now. Nothing at stake. Only pride. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. I think Burnley or Luton, says Ben. One of those two, I think, will stay up. And I think Forest will go down. How can Forest go down? Some of those players that they've got, and I know we're sort of supposed to do preview with you, but we just like chatting about how excited we are about the game more than a proper preview, don't we? You look at the talent in that Forest side, especially the attacking talent. Gibbs White being the jewel in the crown for them. But Alanga, Wanye, who's the other lad that they've got? Can't remember. They should be doing so much better. What a terribly run club. Evening, Davey boy, one of our platinum ramblers. Fancy us to get a result on Saturday. Pressures off us. I do too. Blaster's first goal inbound. Up the Blades. Up the Ramble, like and subscribe. Up the Blades. 3-0, says King for a day. I'll take that. Would be nice to win Saturday, says Bry. But more importantly, nice to see them doors on the Ramble HQ. Yes. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. Won't be long now. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. Plastering got done today, guys. Plastering got done. It's just drying. It's real, isn't it? It's real. Hi, Jimmy. Let's beat these Muppets on Saturday 3-1. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. Nice one, Charlie. A new elite Rambler. Welcome to the team. I like Wes. Not always, but a good keeper. Faxon will be in the squad next season, says Fatty Folk. I think maybe. That's our promising young goalkeeper for those that aren't aware. Be nice, wouldn't it? Be nice to see that. Jimmy's had a word, so Victor's coming. Yes. Yeah, I saw Victor Hansen the other night when we were at this do. I was joking with Ramblers in chat that I've had a word. Oh, I think I put it on Twitter as well, didn't I? So, yeah. Have you seen that he's put 600 pints on at the local pub for all Millers fans to say thank you for their support this season? It's not a goodbye, apparently. Thank you for their support. All right, Vic. See you soon, pal. See you soon. I'd actually go with Wes in the Championship, says Dean. Gerbich is on CW, and Gerbich is on CW for bringing him without seeing him. Hope he's learned from that one. No excuse, Dino. I feel like I caveat it every time I say this, or I'm about to criticise. I'm a huge Chris Wilder fan, but, and this, you can't defend that. You cannot buy a Premier League goalkeeper blind. There's no excuse in it. And I think, given his time again, you talk about learn from that one. It's a huge own goal, isn't it? Literally. Go on, Blaze. Benjamin Football says, I'm sure you can pull something out of the bag and beat Forest and help your good pals from Lancashire. A Burnley fan in the chat. Listen, mate, if it does you a favour, that don't bother me. I'm nothing against Burnley, really. I think it's a healthy rivalry between the two clubs. We've both been poor this season. You're still alive and kicking just. Hey, if you do it, fair play. Don't offer Wes a contract, says Andrew. I hope we win on Saturday. Won't be too disappointed. I'm lying. Our season is over. So ready for next season and the close season ejector seats going off. Come on, Jimmy, let's have a new video discussing our rumours, needs, and who's going. Updates on contracts and club ownership. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. I haven't had much chance. I've had to do videos like that. I've been ridiculously busy at work and that thing there, but we're very close, and I've got a lot of stuff planned. So stay tuned, Andrew. We'll get it there, mate. I love if you were with us last season in the close season, you'll know that transfer videos are my absolute favorite. I love talking about who could come in, speculating. Let's talk about this one or that one. Love it. Sorry, Chris, I've just jumped over your comment there, pal. Burnley have Forest at home last match. That should be fun. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Would love that. I mean, again, is it head or heart? Heart says, come on, Burnley, send them down. Heart says, I'd love Lewis O'Brien in red and white next season. Joe, the builder, has a very short memory. Wes has played well in the last 2 games, but made some real howlers this season and literally cost us 8 points easily all by himself. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Yeah, and Joe's entitled to his opinion as well. Don't appreciate being called daft or stupid, whatever it was, but yeah, so we're not going to have a pot back at him. But you're right, Mr. V. That's the alternative argument, isn't it? 2 good games does not make a Premier League goalkeeper. Completely right. Does Blaster create chances, score goals? Good player, but overhyped. Interesting. Some early sort of, not criticism, but dampeners. I don't mind that. Sort of pull back expectations. I think he does a lot of things very well. And, top clubs in the country, all over the country, to be honest, are watching him for a reason. So I think you'll see that in time. We are the worst team in the Premier League, though, to be fair, pal. So we're the least likely team that you're going to score for, I suppose, in that respect. Wesley's going to try a bit harder as he needs a new team, says Paul. Don't know how rebuild will go. Need some money to spend. Can't wait to see the back of a few, to be honest. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Needs complete fresh start. Joey's come back. You pick your best team regarding Wes. Yeah, and that's right. And he's in on merit. Pick from what you've got is my point. That's fair. Obviously, we're light in that area, so we bring someone in for competition. He was brilliant in the champ, to be fair to him. I'd push back on that. I thought he was decent in the champ, and I've said that repeatedly. People thought I were a bit harsh, but I don't think you need a brilliant goalkeeper in the Championship. I just think you need to get by and sort of protect him as best you can. They'd drop a couple of clangers, but there's always plenty of points on offer in champ and plenty more chances to get back in games. In the Premier League, you need a top goalkeeper, and Wes is nowhere near. Get rid of the Deadwood. Crikey, there's loads. Brewster for one. Okay. He's under contract for another year, though. If I was Chris Wilder, I wouldn't sell Blaster at any price at this point of our rebuilding for the next decade. Yeah, I wouldn't either, to be honest. I'm not saying we won't, though, and I'm not saying we will. But we've modelled ourselves as being a sustainable club. There's no way we can refuse any offer that comes out. I think we'll do Spurs 3-0. Wow. 90 after 90 for the Spuds game. I'm sure you mean Spurs. I'll be pointing a finger and saying, you laughed. Yeah, that's fair. If we beat Spurs, you can come back at me and say, told you so. I'll take that on the chin. Ben says, if McBurney goes, I think or hope we can bring in Sammy from Blackburn. No chance. And maybe bring back Brereton on loan. No chance. If he's going to be possible, or maybe a permanent. Would love that, Ben. BBD is much more likely than Sammy Smodics, but BBD isn't likely either. So Brereton Diaz he's got 5 goals in 10, or he did have at one stage in the Prem, so it might be like 5 in 12 now. A Premier League club is going to want him, and he'll go there, and understandably so, if that's the case. I'll be amazed if we get him back. Sammy Smodics is 28, 29, had one good season, and they're wanting 15 to 20 million quid for him. We're not paying anywhere near that. So I don't think he comes either. John, good evening, mate. Hope you're well. Anyone noticed that Blaster only got inside when he signed a long-term contract? Coincidence? Maybe. Yeah, absolutely. It's smart, isn't it? Smart from the club protecting your investment. Imagine how Forest fans would feel. Says Rob, if they went down from a points deduction for cheating, I'll be laughing all summer. John says he can see Burnley getting out of it. Forest and Luton to go down with us. Interesting twist. Dave says, reckon the return list comes out early enough to say goodbye to some of the great servants who will be leaving us. No, I don't, actually. I don't. I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if it came out before end of season. It's very rare that teams put it out before end of season, but that'd be nice. Our fate's been sealed. You know, we play Tottenham at home. It'd be nice to... I don't think Norwood's getting renewed, for example. It'd be nice to be able to clap Norwood on for the last 5 minutes, wouldn't it? It should be anyway. But he's been a great servant for us. Just imagine if Forest spank us 4 or 5, the fans will go mental, and I've done with football, says Ray. Yeah, it'll just go in the box with the rest of the embarrassing performances this season, won't it? Unfortunately. We've got to make Bramall Lane an absolute fortress for Forest, says Connor. Let's get even for the playoff semis, up the Blades, up the top man, Connor. And thank you for your message earlier. I really appreciate it. Evening, Jimmy, says Neil. Let's just put on a good show for the last 3 games, regardless of the result. And on the upside next season, Leicester points deduction, Forest points deduction, and Everton in administration. Yeah. So upside, Leicester points deduction don't affect us, does it? Everton in administration, Forest. Well, don't really affect us, mate, to be fair, in my opinion. But on your earlier point, regardless of result, let's just have a good show. Would you put kids in? Would now that it's been confirmed, some people have talked about maybe Louis Marsh getting a little bit of game time, some other of the younger end, Sidney Peck maybe, Andre Brooks obviously retaining his place. Does Will Asula come into the side? I'm not so sure. On that note, because I'm running out of time, but I've got to ask you, what's your team? And this is my team, and I think it's a little bit positive because there's some big names coming back. Big names, you know what I mean? So let me just knock Neil's comment off a little bit. So I've got Wes in goal, obviously, because Wes is the best keeper in the league. And then, joking, Joey. Joking, my friend. Holgate, right centre-back. Anel in the middle. And welcome back, Captain Jackie Longthrow, who very humbly accepted his Sheffield Star Player of the Year award, saying it feels a bit embarrassing, to be honest, to collect it in these circumstances this season. But he is pleased with his own personal performances at times this season. I think that's more than fair and about right. Bogle at right wing back, Ozzy at left wing back, Blaster in the middle with Brooks and Gus either side. And I'm going Archer and Brereton Diaz up front again. That team's all right. I like that team, to be honest. Can't say any other. I'm still not at the stage. Hang on a sec. Excuse me. I'm still not at the stage where I'm slick enough with this when I'm coughing and stuff to be able to hit the mute really quickly, but I'll get there. Get a few lessons off Nick on how to muddle my way through. Gabe, good evening again, mate. Wouldn't mind if Burnley stay up and they give us Trafford on loan as a thank you for beating Forest. I don't want to develop Trafford for Burnley. I know what you mean. We need a good keeper, don't we? So we can't sell our Blaster, surely, says Andrew. I don't think we will. I'd be amazed if we do. It'll have to be huge money. New keeper needed, says Joe. Wes Gerbich good enough? Not surely. Neither Wes Gerbich good enough. Hamer and Blaster in the middle with someone new to sit deep. Left wing back, centre back, and a 15+ goals a season striker. Yep, we're going to get into all that in the next few weeks. Love it. Love all that talk. It's a tough championship. Hope Wilder gets it right for next year. Yeah, me too, pal. Need some sharp young'uns in, up the Blades, up the Ramble. Love it, Rob. Thank you, pal. Any chance of Ndai back? 0, mate. 0. Maybe if we'd have stayed up, we could have got a cheeky little loan deal. But there's no chance. No chance. Yes, play the youngsters. And the point was, they've all cheated FFP. Yes, sorry, pal. Yeah, of course they have. And they're going to get the comeuppance. But it doesn't really affect us in the champ, does it? So, unfortunately, we won't see the benefit of that. But yeah, they're rightly being punished if they've cheated. Wouldn't mind bringing in Burrows. Nor would I. I think we're daft if we're not looking at him. Cash in. Maybe not now, as seen as Derby have gone up. Yeah, I don't think we'll get him now. Mark Leonard, who's been linked with us, Northampton Player of the Year on loan from Brighton. David Brooks on loan. Would love that. Purely to see him tear Wednesday apart again. Holgate on loan, maybe, and Brannigan from Oxford. Joe, they are some really sensible, strong shouts. Love that, mate. Love that. Just joined. I bet some Forest fans have been in here. Yeah, there's been one, mate, but it's all right. It's all right. There's not many because they're nervous. They're nervous, and they're rightly nervous about what we could do to them at the weekend. Look, we've been poor all season. But on the off chance that we turn up, because we can turn up, we are a good side. Look at that first half of the week. First half against Newcastle. We were the better team. If we can get a little bit of momentum, I tell you, they will be like that. Need a dominant centre back in the Jake Cooper mould. He's getting on a little bit, Jake Cooper, but we are playing Millwall again next season. So, do we need to sign him? Do we need to sign him so he doesn't score against us again? We ain't nervous, trust me, Jimmy. Well, you might not be, mate, but that's just naive because I would be in your position. Mr. V finishes us off tonight by saying, FFTV, go on the attack, Jimmy. Nah, it's one of them, isn't it? We're going to go on and try and have a civilised conversation, and if he wants to steer it to something else, then we'll give as good as we get. But look, you can't hurt us. We're down. So, we'll see what happens. But thank you to everybody for your support. Again, tonight, I'm really looking forward to the game at the weekend. As I said, we'll be at Triple Point. For anybody that wants to join us for a drink, we will be there I'll be there probably from about 1:30 before kickoff. Thank you again to our sponsors, Triple Point Brewery and Action Coach Sheffield, for all the support for the channel. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. 2-0 Blades. All the Blades!
Ramble on! Gustavo Homer into the top corner.